Okay, let's settle this once and for all. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay, and if you love luxury and designer unboxings, lookbooks, and Hawaii lifestyle vlogs, then you're in the right place. So I recently shared in one of my Hawaii lifestyle vlogs that at Plato's Closet, when I was trying to sell some clothes, I came upon these seemingly Chuck Taylor X off-white vulcanized Chuck Taylors. I think I just said Chuck Taylors twice. The off-white X Converse Chuck Taylors. Close enough. And I was super excited because I walked away with them for $16. Today you can buy them for about $100 fresh off retail. However, if they came in certain batches like the OG one, they're obviously somewhere on the market for, upwards of $800 to I saw $1,300. I posted a short for you guys showing that I found them, and I got a couple of comments saying that they are obviously fake, which is a huge bummer because as a lover of the designer world, it's not that, I'm above fakes or anything like that, but I do view fashion as an art, and I want to support the actual artist or creator or creative director, whoever it may be. So I do feel bad when fakes are circulating around because it's just like someone's ripping off someone else, but then getting paid for it. And I do think that art is one thing that we really need to support, even though I know that the luxury and designer fashion world seems very frivolous and like they charge way too much for a name. I get it, but I still want to support the arts and the original creators. And as a luxury and designer channel, I don't want you guys thinking I'm pulling the wool over your eyes and saying that I found real ones when they're not real. Okay, so just a little background on these and why they're so cool to me. The original release date was November 1st, 2017, and it was part of the Off-White X Nike Ghosting collection. And they had this super cool runway. I'll submit some pictures here, but it was a very spooky runway with birch trees and fall leaves on the ground, and it looked like a little foggy. So it was a super cool collection, and these were part of them because of their translucent, ghosty image. It was also at that show that Virgil said, "The future isn't so important to me as the present and the past," which is pretty chilling as Virgil Abloh, 4 years later, passed away at the young age of 41 from angiosarcoma, which is a rare cancer. So I think it's beautiful in a way that, we don't know what I personally don't know what he knew at the time, but he was very, in the now and learning from the past and, not so concerned with the future. Not that that's not important, but I don't know, it's just very beautiful to not worry about things in the future, and he wasn't worried if the pieces he was creating were going to stand the test of time. He wanted them to be cool now, which is why I think the brands that he was the creative director for were kind of out there. As you can see, like, this is part of the design. This isn't a tag that you take off. Off-white is very unique. They usually say exactly what's happening on it. So vulcanized actually means to harden by treating it with sulfur and high temperature. So I'm assuming that vulcanized is like what this rubber part was going to do. And then he also put left and right. However, it's on the opposite shoe. So this is the right shoe, but it says left. And even the shoelace says shoelace. All right, so let's get into it. So I used a couple of sources, but I'm going to put the most concise two in the description below. Please go support these creators as well if you want to know more. So let's start off with the heel here. So I was told that on the fakes, the little stars are going to be more rounded and not straight clean cuts. And then also the holes in the letters here are going to be a little lazy. So for example, the A might be filled in instead of clearly cut. When I'm looking on these, the stars look great, and so do the holes in the letters. So we are starting off on a good point. In my opinion, we're all good here. Green checks. Another super obvious hint is the fact that since Off-White was a little interesting, it's almost like Golden Goose where they're meant to look a little worn beforehand. This tag is actually supposed to be cut, which this was one of my first red flags. I saw it and I was like, oh no, they freaking cut the tag off. But actually, some of the fake ones have the whole Converse tag on. So this is a good sign. Another green check. Apparently, some of the easiest ways to find out if they're real or fake is to look at the writing that is all over the shoe. So the writing on these are supposed to be very clean, very clear. It looks like they're supposed to look extremely straight and how you would expect. Even though these shoes are supposed to look a little messy and dirty, the writing is not. It is supposed to look prim and proper and super, super dark black. However, another hint of a fake is that it's starting to have these little dots here. So it's not extremely clear. So this is actually my first sign that it's not good. Also, like I was saying, the words are supposed to be pretty perfect, and I know it's going to be hard to tell on camera, but just the spacing with the F and the T here is a little off on the bottom. It almost looks like the F and T are leaning away from each other and the bottoms are kind of far apart. So that's another not good sign. Again, with the letters on the medial text, for example, there is supposed to be no excess ink. So again, these letters are supposed to look perfect. Dark black, pretty printed, no extra. And if you can see here, like especially on the M, I know it's hard to tell on camera, but they're a little messy. They're a little messy and the lines are blurred, even on like the TM or the E in off-white. The end of Massachusetts is starting to rub off. Now let's get into the sole. I'll probably have to use the camera on a different angle here, but I will show you a picture. It looked all good here, and I was even excited to see the little dots in the top of the sole, but apparently there are fakes that have that as well. And I thought that the logo looked all good, but now seeing some comparisons online, the words "the 10" look a little skinny to me, so not feeling good about that. This one is the dead giveaway, you guys, and I'm sure it's the whole reason why all of you knew immediately without taking a closer look. And I had the suspicion from the beginning, but I was hoping that, maybe there were two different versions, a blue and a clear, but the vulcanized part is supposed to be like an icy, ghosty color. And here you can just see it is just plain translucent. So it's supposed to be a beautiful icy blue here, and it's even supposed to carry into icy blue here, and also on this part on the heel. And it's also supposed to be more puffy. You can see it comes off a little bit, but usually it's really puffy. At first I was like, no, like it was there, you can see it, right? And it just faded. But I don't know, I just don't think that this part would look like this. So I am gonna call these fakes. Now that I am calling these fakes, I did want to call out another common red flag that mine didn't have, but yours might, are the fact that these, like I said, should be very clear and they should look like they are on top. There are a lot of fakes out there that looks like the writing is almost under mesh. It looks like it's almost on the inside looking outward, and then there's a whole layer of fabric over it. So that is also a for sure sign. These, again, are supposed to be bold, black on the outside, very clean, no excess ink. Thank you so much to the commenters that commented and told me that, hey, those don't look right. I really appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me on my game. The game plan for these are that I am going to donate these because, again, I would never resell them, and they are too big for me after all. I kind of got them as a stretch. They're a size and a half too big. I'm actually going to donate these because although, it's not like I want a fake circulating, I do think that everyone deserves a good pair of shoes, and these are perfectly good functional shoes that can be used. And even though they're ripping off Virgil's work, it's still cool for his influence to live on and for someone to, be sharing his art, even if it is not the complete whole story. I know this video is a little different for me, but I did want to give you guys an update. If you liked this video, or if you like luxury and designer items or Hawaii lifestyle, please hit the subscribe button, like this video so I can get out there, and thank you so much for watching.